Tonight, an electrified backlash against Elon Musk's Tesla. CEO Elon Musk causing fallout for the company.
And for some who drive Teslas as well.
Well, meanwhile, growing rage against Elon Musk has increasingly turned to the billionaire's company Tesla.
While Tesla boss Elon Musk has been busy shaking things up with his Department of Government Efficiency, here in Europe, his car business was in the headlines this week.
Tesla is falling apart, and even Elon Musk seems to know it. Sales are plummeting, down 60% in Germany and even slipping in California. The Cybertruck is turning into disaster, and Tesla's profits rely on risky loopholes that won't last. With investors panicking and government support fading, the real question is, can Tesla survive the crash?
You gotta wake up from the grift. I am always so nervous when I take my pet outside without a leash, but Elon does it time and time again, and it never just runs away. Republicans, make sense of this for me, dude. All jokes aside, your president did a car commercial yesterday because a cot with a boy in the front of it worked so well against Elon, his boss, that it hurt his finances. You have to buy the cars there. I love a Tesla. Elon was in the back. Say what I wrote on the paper. You have a car salesman for a president. Elon was so financially hurt that he made Donald Trump stand in front of the White House with his merch on wheels and pitch it to you. Remember when you were young and you used to hear about old people getting taken for their entire savings over the phone? You're the old people now. You're getting taken. Peak owning the libs is giving all your money to him and then going into debt just to give him more.
The recent controversy surrounding Tesla and its boycott movement has taken an even more bizarre turn. President Trump decided to run an ad at the White House promoting Tesla right after a massive wave of people started boycotting Elon Musk products. If that wasn't controversial enough, Trump then made a shocking declaration. Anyone protesting or boycotting Tesla would be considered a domestic terrorist and arrested.
Guys, this is huge news. People are boycotting Tesla because of Elon Musk turning our government into a far-right oligarchy, and now Elon Musk and Trump are both starting to notice the boycott. Take a look at what Trump just posted. He's basically begging people to buy Teslas again. Take a look. He says, to Republicans, conservatives, and all great Americans, Elon Musk is, quote, putting it on the line in order to help our nation, and he is doing a fantastic job. But the radical left lunatics, as they often do, are trying to illegally and collusive.
Donald Trump just said any attack against Tesla is considered domestic terrorism. So what was January 6, 2021? Is school shootings not viable enough to be considered domestic terrorism? How is a cyber attack on a billionaire domestic terrorism? So people die. People breaking into the White House, breaking into the Capitol. Oh, that's fine. They get pardoned. But a hack to a vehicle company, domestic terror. If this doesn't show you that they care more about money than they do about human lives, there's nothing else we can do to help y'all. They care more about the price of a billionaire's company, his stocks, his investments, more than they do children. But an attack on Tesla in any way is domestic terrorism. Okay.
The President of the United States, instead of focusing on pressing national issues like skyrocketing grocery prices, unaffordable healthcare, and rampant crime, is more concerned about the financial well-being of a billionaire's private company. Instead of addressing homelessness, mass shootings, or inflation, his priority is ensuring that people continue buying Tesla vehicles. The boycott of Tesla isn't happening in a vacuum. It's been building for a while, fueled by multiple controversies surrounding Elon Musk. People have been growing increasingly frustrated with Musk's influence over social and political matters, his treatment of workers, and his frequent alignment with controversial political figures.
Listen, in a world with such little good news, I will hang on to everything that comes across my feed. That gives me just a sliver of hope that we shall prevail, that there are good people out there. Because if Elon Musk boy thinks he can just destroy a country, strip the government bare, I say we do the same to his shit companies. Because if you can't Luigi Musk, you can Luigi Tesla, if you know what I mean. If he wants to buy the presidency and the government and have his companies intertwined with the government and then act like a Nazi, then he should expect people to fight back. he should expect his companies and his money to be a target. And people are not joking around. You can see this is just one of multiple Tesla dealerships that have been vandalized. This is in Manhattan. And these are some of the good people that protested the dealership in Manhattan. This is in Boston. They set fire to the Tesla charging stations. Even France is participating in solidarity. And if the French know how to do one thing well, it's to protest. They have insane stamina for protesting. So if the people in the White House want to behave the way that they behave right now and strip people of their rights and violate them and deport them based on their political views, etc., and all the other sense that's coming out of this place right now, and they're acting like these people, it only makes sense that people will react back accordingly with the type of pushback that these people deserve.
Elon has taken L after L, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. Tesla stock is in free fall, shedding billions in value as investors grow tired of missed targets, price cuts, and increasing competition from actual car companies that know how to run a business. Meanwhile, Elon's DOGE is laying off millions of federal workers while DOGE itself is doubling its workforce. So let me get this straight. Elon wants to streamline the government, but somehow that means firing experienced public servants while inflating his own little pet project, which is DOGE. If Tesla's performance and the downfall of Twitter are any indication, efficiency in Elon's world is just reckless mismanagement. Elon's Tesla is performing so poorly that Trump has vowed to pity buy a vehicle to stick it to the so-called radical left, who Trump claims is illegally boycotting Tesla. Tesla's ongoing struggles include declining vehicle deliveries, an aging lineup with no real innovation, and a cratering reputation in the EV market. Even diehard Elon fans are starting to admit that competitors are leaving Tesla in the dust. Musk's track record speaks for itself. He overpromises, underdelivers, and when things go south, he blames regulations, the media, or the woke mind virus. If he can't keep his own companies afloat, how exactly is he supposed to make the government more efficient? Also, DOGE's hiring spree makes me truly wonder, if Musk really wants to shrink government waste, why is he bloating his own bureaucracy? At this rate, the only thing Elon seems good at is streamlining his own downfall.
The movement, known as the Tesla Takedown, was started by activists who wanted to economically impact Musk and challenge his growing political power. Protesters have been actively urging Tesla owners to sell their cars and shares while also staging demonstrations outside Tesla stores. Some have gone as far as vandalizing Tesla properties, which is, of course, unacceptable. However, at its core, the boycott is about consumers exercising their right to protest against a company whose leader they find problematic. The idea that a government would step in to protect a private company from consumer backlash is not only undemocratic, but also sets a dangerous precedent.
All right, everybody. So I'm sure most of you have heard the news today that Elon was on television practically in tears over the fall of his empire because he stupidly tied every single one of his other companies to Tesla. And as Tesla stock falls and he loses hundreds of millions of dollars by the day, he is going to not only screw his entire Tesla company over, but every other company that he owns and operates. They're all going to go down the tubes. And as my friend Mermaid likes to call him, Elon Musk, she is going down like a ton of bricks. Never mind the fact that today we saw a protest at Trump Tower. And it looks like people are finally coming around and we're getting out there and doing the right thing and doing what we need to do to push back. But we need to continue to do more. The work is never over, especially with this administration, because they are going to keep pumping out things every single day, every few minutes if they can, to make sure they're keeping us on our toes. They want us to be exhausted. They want us to tire out so we cannot fight back. And we cannot let that happen.
Running an advertisement for Tesla at the White House is already a questionable move. The White House is a government property, funded by taxpayers. It's supposed to represent the interests of people, not a single billionaire's business empire. This is a clear misuse of power and raises serious ethical concerns. Think about it. If another president had done the same thing for a different company, people would have been outraged. Imagine if Obama had run an ad for Apple at the White House, or if Biden had done one for Amazon. The backlash would have been immediate. But because this is Trump and Musk, a duo that some Americans strongly support, there's an attempt to normalize this blatant conflict of interest. While Trump is worried about Tesla sales, real Americans are struggling to afford basic necessities. Inflation has hit an all-time high, with grocery prices skyrocketing, rent is unaffordable in major cities, and healthcare costs continue to cripple families. Instead of addressing these pressing issues, Trump is prioritizing a luxury car brand. Ask yourself, how many average Americans can even afford a Tesla? The majority of the population is struggling to pay rent, let alone buy an expensive electric car. This just shows how disconnected politicians like Trump are from the real struggles of everyday people. Beyond inflation, the US is facing an increase in crime. Mass shootings have become so frequent that they barely make national headlines anymore. Cities are dealing with surges in violent crime, drug-related deaths, and homelessness. But instead of addressing these issues, Trump is worried about ensuring Tesla remains profitable. The question is simple. Why is Tesla more important than tackling crime? Why is boycotting Tesla a bigger concern than the fact that millions of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck? One of the most disturbing aspects of Trump's response is his decision to label peaceful protesters as domestic terrorists. This is an authoritarian move that should worry everyone, regardless of political affiliation. Protesting and boycotting are fundamental rights in a democracy. If the government starts arresting people for simply choosing not to buy a product, then democracy is effectively dead. Historically, boycotts have been a powerful tool for social change. The civil rights movement used boycotts to fight segregation. The American Revolution itself included boycotts against British goods. If those protesters had been labeled as domestic terrorists, America would look very different today. Trump's move isn't just about Tesla. It's about silencing dissent and criminalizing activism. If this is allowed to stand, what next? Will protesting against high rent or healthcare costs also be considered terrorism? Will workers striking for better wages be arrested? This is a slippery slope toward totalitarianism, and people need to wake up to the reality of what's happening. Elon Musk has managed to position himself as a figure that politicians, especially conservatives, are desperate to protect. But why? What makes Tesla and Musk so special that the government is willing to bend over backward to shield them from criticism? For one, Musk has enormous political influence. His businesses receive massive government subsidies, and he has strong ties to powerful political figures. He also controls platforms like X, formerly Twitter, which have been major source for political discourse. But beyond his influence, Musk has carefully cultivated a cult-like following. His supporters view him as a genius, innovator, a free speech champion, and a victim of woke culture. This makes it difficult to criticize him without facing backlash. However, the reality is Musk is a businessman, not a savior. His primary goal is profit, and his companies have been accused of numerous unethical practices, including worker exploitation, union busting, and ignoring safety concerns. So, why is the government so invested in ensuring Musk continues to succeed? The answer likely lies in money and power. Musk donates to politicians, creates jobs, and has access to technology that the government finds valuable. In return, he gets protection from scrutiny. If Trump succeeds in making it illegal to protest against Tesla, then it sets a dangerous precedent for the future. It means corporations will have more power than the people. It means democracy will continue to erode. If a government can criminalize boycott, then what stops it from criminalizing other forms of dissent? Will journalists who expose corruption be labeled as terrorists? Will unions that demand better wages be shut down? America is heading down a dangerous path, and people need to wake up before it's too late. This isn't just about Tesla, it's about the fundamental rights of the people. At the end of the day, this controversy is a reflection of where America's priorities truly lie. While everyday citizens struggle to put food on the table, the government is more concerned about ensuring a billionaire's company remains profitable. People have a right to boycott Tesla. They have a right to protest. They have a right to demand better leadership that focuses on real issue instead of corporate profits. The bigger question we should be asking is, when will the government start prioritizing the people over corporations? When will we see the same urgency for affordable housing, education, and healthcare that we see for protecting Tesla? If Trump truly cared about America, he wouldn't be threatening people over a car company. He would be addressing the issues that actually affect millions of lives. Until that happens, we need to keep calling out these misplaced priorities. Well, let me know on the comments, guys, what your thoughts are. Do you think the Tesla boycott is justified? Do you agree with Trump's response? And most importantly, do you think America's priorities are completely out of touch with reality? Let me know in the comments. Also remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye-bye.